Greetings from Portugal. Today is Vintage Wine Thursday and I have two local wines. I have a port vintage 1977 and I have a port from Graham's 20-year Tawny port. The difference is the vintage port singly comes from one vintage, which is 77, and believe it or not, for me being born in 77, it's always difficult to find great wines. Here in Portugal, for port, this was one of the best vintages ever. And then we have the other style, which is the Tawny port, 20 years, which is a great port. Here it is a blend of ports from different vintages, average 20 years. Of course, for port, you have your classic port wine glasses. I use a bigger one, a Riesling glass. To me, this glass does a beautiful job. Look at this color. Obviously, it looks like beautifully aged wine. This is fortified wine. Here, we're not talking about 11, 12 to 15 degrees of alcohol. Here, we start at 20% alcohol, which obviously, to me, the bigger glass does a beautiful job enhancing the classic aromas and on the palate flavors of port. There's a little fun fact. 1756, when the Riedel company was started, it was also a very important time for port wine because it was the first vineyards in the Douro Valley which were legally declared as official vineyards to produce a specific wine, and they were the very first. Obviously, port has great history, and being here in beautiful Portugal, in the Algarve, I'm going to enjoy port wine not only with dessert, but I like to start with it as an aperitif. For me, next to champagne, probably port is one of those wines which I like to share before a meal to get my guests excited. This one, very particular, I got this here at my hotel, the Pinecliff Resort, as a gift. And as I said, 1977 is something special, and I'm going to pull the cork right now with my family that is joining me here on vacation. The fun fact about port is, as soon as you pull the cork, it doesn't mean you have to finish the bottle. If you keep it in the fridge, then you can serve it for the next 3 to even 6 months. What about that, huh? Isn't port a great subject, a beautiful wine? And in case you have never tried it, please go ahead and explore. There's so much knowledge behind making a great port wine. They're amazing producers, and if you really want to, go and visit them. The vineyards are all up north in Portugal. It's definitely worth the trip. So here it is. Saúde, cheers to you. Enjoy Vintage Wine Thursday.